And breaking tonight, a judge ordered the release of 5-year-old Liam Conejo Ramos and his father from a detention center in Texas, where they have been held since they were taken by federal agents from Minnesota last week. This comes after Texas Democrats demanded his release and visited Liam and his father. Here is how Congressman Juan Castro described his condition while in custody.
His father said that Liam has been very depressed since he's been at Dilley, that he hasn't been eating well. His father said that Liam has been sleeping a lot, that he's been asking about his family, his mom, and his classmates, and saying that he wants to go be back in school with his classmates.
Joining us now is Jason Kuhlman. He's a principal at Liam Ramos School, Valley View Elementary. Jason, you must be overjoyed that Liam is finally coming home. Can you tell us how you feel hearing this news, knowing that he is going to come home?
We are elated. This is amazing news. We heard this earlier in the day, and there was a lot of joy, a lot of shouts of excitement going on. And as we texted his teacher, she was very excited as well.
Jason, can you tell us a little bit about how you're preparing to bring him back, and perhaps, or to have him back in the school? Where will he be staying? Do you have any sense of who will be taking care of him as this situation continues to play out? And I understand he's not the only student in your school who's been affected by what has happened with these ICE raids.
You know, I know the parents want some privacy. I could only imagine after being separated from my 5-year-old what I would be feeling. So we're honoring that. But as they get acclimated back into the state and they reunite as a family, we're gonna have some parties. We have to celebrate the return. As you had said, we are still missing a number of other students. I have 2 boys that were taken on Thursday. We have a 4th grader from Highland Elementary, which is a sister school in Columbia Heights. And then we have 3 high schoolers that are still missing. So the work is definitely not done. This is a celebration that we're going to definitely partake in, but we still need to keep working.
You mentioned that there are several other students who have also been detained. Could you talk about what effect this has had on the rest of the student body, Liam's classmates, these other students' classmates? I have to imagine that this is pretty upsetting and traumatizing for them as well. Absolutely.
When we're talking, you're seeing your friends fake or not there in your classroom. So you're seeing empty seats that we have, and it's scary. Our community's scared already with the amount of ICE activity going on in Columbia Heights. They're all scared. We have families that aren't coming to school that we're delivering food to. We have a virtual program that we just started last Tuesday. There's a lot of fear that's still in our school and our community as a whole.
My understanding is your teachers are stepping up in a lot of ways outside of their typical job description, visiting families, trying to make sure people have food if they're not able to get outdoors right now. Can you talk us through what day-to-day life has become for people who are just trying to make sure that their kids that they teach, their neighbors, that they're safe?
The other duties as assigned in our contracts has taken on a whole new meaning. You know, as educators, we're in the classroom, we keep our kids safe, we educate them, we're teaching them. Now we're delivering food. We, as a staff, and I can't be more proud of my staff, have spun up a makeshift food shelf where we're delivering about 120 boxes of food each week to our families. Staff have volunteered to walk our kids to school. So we have about a half-mile walking radius where our kids are not bused. We have what's called walking brigades, where staff are walking out into the community, gathering students because the parents trust us, and then we walk back to school.
Jason, what can you tell us about the 2 students who were taken into custody on this Thursday? Could you tell us what the circumstance was and just anything about their stories?
Yeah. That was their mom was reporting for a court order as she was seeking asylum. And so she was reporting every week. She was taken right outside the courthouse after she finished her meeting. The boys came to school that morning as a normal day. And then the mom had called us to indicate that she was taken. and that she wanted us to bring the boys to her down at the detention center in St. Paul. The boys didn't know about it. The boyfriend came up. We had to tell the boys, which was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, was saying, hey, your mom's detained and now you're going to be going down with her. It was horrible.
Jason, I was wondering if have you noticed a decline in attendance at some of the schools? I mean, how much are you sensing this fear palpable among students and in the community?
I think at the highest point, we were seeing COVID levels of absenteeism. I mean, a quarter of my student body were out because of that. And again, it was ICE, it was fear of that, it was illness and everything else. But when you're talking a quarter of your student body of 570 kids, that's a lot. It has gotten better, but it definitely hasn't returned to normal. On an average day, we'd have 20 to 30 kids out, and that's acceptable levels when you're talking a school of 570. Now we're still ranging around 80, 90 kids, but we also have a virtual school that our students are attending as well, so that's helped with that attendance.
I want to play you a clip. I'm sure that you have seen it, but I want to make sure that people at home have a chance to see it too. The New York Times had the chance to speak with students who wrote letters to Liam, and I want you to take a listen to this.
You are scaring schools, people, and the world. You should be kind, helpful, and caring like normal police, not dangerous, scary, and stealing people. I think you should make friends with the world. Love, a Valley View student.
What do you make of the message that such young children, that they're trying to send to federal agents? I mean, such an unusual position for children to be placed in, to be trying to teach some morals, some ethics, some kindness to grown working adults. What do you make of that?
I think it's amazing. I was in there when they were writing them and they decided to share. Our students know what's going on. You know, they know what's going on based on conversations they had with their parents. Their parents are volunteering to carpool and bring kids to school. So those conversations are coming out, and sometimes we just need to listen to our children because they can teach us a valuable lesson that obviously we haven't learned as adults.
Yeah, that's a very true point. Principal Jason Coleman, really appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing those stories with us.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for helping me welcome back Liam. It's a great celebration.
Absolutely. We're excited for him to be reunited with his friends and classmates.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.